you go, and you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. This is really happening. I'm in this room by myself. Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Jabril, you're not alone, though. I got you.
Oh, my man.
What's up?
My man, Rob and the engineer. What's up, man?
What's up?
What's up?
How was your day, man?
Man, all right. So it was good. Well, first of all, TGIW, because I know Naomi is going to hurt me if I don't say that. TGIW. They went pretty well. You know, payday. Get some.
It's always a good thing.
It's always a good
you got
day.
paid in the middle of the week. That's something to be thankful about.
Yeah. I mean, paydays used to be good if they on a Friday, but that middle of the week scratch, this will get you over it. So yeah. So today is Wednesday, July the 27th. This is the Be Inspired Radio Show. I am your host, Jabril Morris. Usually I'm sitting in the co-host seat, but Naomi decided to go to a concert. But she's taking a well-deserved break. She's going to listen to the smooth tunes of Maxwell. I'm not a Maxwell fan, but it's cool. Maxwell is okay in my book. So yeah, but she's taking a well-deserved break, so I will be your gracious host for this afternoon. And it's going to be a good show because you guys haven't felt my vibe and gotten my whole aura that I bring to the show. Usually I'm just like a what do they call it, an assistant, but now I'm actually the driver in the seat. So back to my day. It was pretty cool. Payday. Work's going great. Work is going really, really well. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy that all of the opportunities that I'm getting. So, I'm getting doors are opening left and right for me because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I just make sure I do what I gotta do. That driving me is always like, I need to do this thing. Even if I don't want to do it, most of the time I'm like, I need to do this thing. So work is going well. What else happened today? Preparing for the show, me just getting my thoughts together, my mind, how I want to say things, not being too nervous, even though it's not nerve-wracking because I've always been in this seat. But I'm right now. I'm sitting in the room by myself. Rob's on the other end of the wall, so you guys can't see him. But so getting my thoughts together, getting stories together, getting the hosts together. Just delegating between. You got to be here this time, and So we actually have a great show for you guys today. So on the show today, we have an author by the name of Cherie Trahan. We have a youth philanthropist group coming on our show today known as Youth as Resources. And as we do all the time, we're also going to have Dr. D, her Breaking Barriers segment. And our topic today is, I think healing from hurts? It's not healing from hurts. It's what it is. What is it, Rob? Help me out. It's not. It's nothing there, but I know it off the. Okay, so it is. Gosh, it's in my phone. So we're gonna just skate past that because I know the topic, but I don't know the topic. So yeah,
it's okay, yo.
It's
good.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go with the flow of the show today. So, so I want to do a segment that Naomi used to do, and I used to have like a soundbite for it, but I don't know what happened. So she stopped doing the segment, and it's called Inspirational News. So yeah. Inspirational News. So So Rob, did you see the story about the young lady that's wanting to die?
She's wanting to die. I
Yeah,
have not.
she wants to die. Well, she's making the decision to die. Let's say that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's weird.
let me explain. So, 14-year-old Wisconsin girl makes a decision to die. So, young lady by the name of Jerica Bolin, she suffers from spinal muscular atrophy type 2. So, I know a lot of you are asking, what is that? So, spinal muscular atrophy is a disease that robs a person of physical strength by affecting the motor nerves and the spinal cord.
I know somebody who has actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. How old are they?
they're old.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think the person got diagnosed at like in their 30s.
Okay. And
But for you to get that so young, they say it hurt when you smile.
Yeah. Yup. And I first seen the story on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I thought that, you know how Facebook play around with real news stories. So I'm thinking it's a parody or, you know, it's just like a joke or something. And I actually watched it, and it was really really inspirational, but it was also like hard. Like, it broke my heart because the girl, she's 14. She's been living with it for as long as she can remember. So she's been in a wheelchair as long as she can remember. So as I started watching it, I started understanding why she made the choice, what kind of factors actually played in her making the decision, because she's been in a wheelchair and she's living on a ventilator that helps her breathe. She can't even breathe on her own. So of course, living that kind of life, it would make you, it would make you feel like you want to just let it go, because she really has that choice because her mother discussed it. So let me actually continue to read the story. The disease causes constant pain and prevents her from using most of her muscles. And Jerica, these are her words. She says, when the pain is too much, it's too much. Wow. She also added that I need to do what's best for me. So I feel like everybody that's going through something or has went through something, they've had that moment where it was a crossroads type of thing. So it was like, I could either live in the situation that I'm dealing with now, or I can make some decisions that's not gonna be popular, and I need to do these things for me. So this is what Jerica Bolin actually did. She actually made the decision, along with her mother's supervision and help, that she just wanted to purge herself, really, because what kind of life is that to actually live every day with pain in your body and being bound to a wheelchair? And she also states that she's unable to move most of her body with the exception of her hands and parts of her face. So she can't bathe herself, she can't walk on her own, she can't do all of these things. But even in her struggle, she still finds happiness. She still finds, some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. And that's wonderful. So Jerica plans to celebrate her life by putting on a prom dress this Friday night for an event at the Appleton Grand Meriden. So she's really letting herself, feel the world for the last time. And I feel like that's a wonderful thing to do, because you're celebrating your life. Your 14 years of living, that's actually a feat in and of itself. Muscular atrophy is really, really serious. Like, really, really serious. So for me, when I read the story and when I was really thinking about it, it spoke to me, because like I said, if you're a person in the world, you've gone through some things that you have to really make a decision. Okay, am I doing what's best for me right now, or am I making everybody else around me happy? So her living, her feeling pain, her not being able to move anything except for her hands and parts of her face, it was taking a toll on her. It was taking a real toll on her. So I really applaud this young lady because she had enough mind and enough sense to really sit down and really think about all the options that she had, because she really didn't have too many, but she made the best with what she had. So she also states that I don't have many friends. I couldn't get out really and do many things because I was in so much pain. And the prom is, well, we call it my last dance. So these are her words. So she's calling it her last dance. And, you know,
at the age of 14.
At the age of 14. Like, it's hard to actually put yourself in that position, but you got to do what's best for yourself. And I can honestly say, if I was living with muscular atrophy, I wouldn't want to live, because living was a hassle. It was really, really hard for her. She had to endure pain, and I understand that people can endure pain for only but so long. So I really applaud this young lady. And sometime in late August, Jerica will stop using the ventilator she uses right now to breathe, and she begins hospice care. So sometime in late August, probably the third week in August, she's gonna let herself off the ventilator and do what she has to. And I really, me being a person that's lost loved ones, I've seen somebody on a ventilator. I've seen somebody on life support, and it's hard. And, a lot of older people, they don't like living by a machine. And when my grandmother passed away, she told us when she was living, she didn't want to live by a machine. So we had to make that decision, and taking into consideration what the doctors was telling us, because they were telling us that they would have to do CPR, and she was an older woman. So if they continued to do CPR, it was a risk that she would have broken chest bones. And if she would come back, she wouldn't have the same abilities that she once had before. So it was one of those things where you really had to think about everything. Like, you had to really think about every possibility, every ending, every circumstance. So I really understand why this young lady did what she did, but I also want us to understand that, she didn't have a choice either way, because she was going to either live in pain and eventually pass away, or she was going to do it on her own terms. And that's really strength. That's inspiring to me. And the reason I picked this story is because it spoke to me. It resonated through my soul. So I really applaud Jerica. I wish her and her family the best. I'm going to keep them in our prayers. I really like this young lady. So we're going to go to break in a few more minutes, but before we go to break, I just wanted to give everybody the call-in number and the text-in number. So local callers can call us at 410-702-5657. And if you want to text in, if you're shy, if you don't want us to hear your voice, you can text in at 443-642-9403. Texas. We got Cherie Trahan, author Cherie Trahan. We have the Youth Philanthropy Group, Youth as Resources coming in. And then we got Dr. D as well. So, when Dr. D comes on, it's always something positive, and it's always something that's really mind-provoking. So when we come back, I'm going to give you guys some announcements. So we'll be right back with the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Hey, everybody, it's Monty. the executive producer here at BeExposedRadio.com, and I'm here to talk about my show. I know, how selfish, right? Talk Lately with me, Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So what do we talk about on this show? I can tell you this. There has never been a show that I have gotten completely through the full agenda because our topics, our conversations are just that damn good. I cover politics, gossip, entertainment, and hey, I love a good panel discussion. Hey, get a group of people in here and let us debate it out. That is the best thing in the world. Not to mention, I take calls and texts, and I'll debate with you too. So why don't you get involved and be heard? What's that old adage? Closed mouths don't get fed. That says it all. So join me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Call me at 410-702-5657. You can text at 443-642-9403. And don't forget to be heard and vote in our weekly poll right on the website.
The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for one school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org.
Yes,
Brought to you
Mom.
by the
I
Ad
wanted to
Council
talk
and
to you about
National
something,
Highway
and
Traffic
oh wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow, busy me. So anyway.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, huh?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. We are back with the Be Inspired Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Local callers can call us at 410-702-5657. And they can also text at 443-642-9403. We're also on YouTube. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, type in the search bar, Be Exposed Radio, hit enter, and it should be like the first thing that you see is a subscribe page. Hit that, go to live now, and then you're going to be watching the Be Inspired Radio Show. So just wanted to give you guys a few quick announcements. Last week was the weird 1-year anniversary at Howl at the Moon. Congratulations to those guys. They've been here for a year, so let's hope that they continue to be here for many more years at Howl at the Moon. So whoever went out, I wasn't able to go out there because I had to work. Sorry, I couldn't be there, TC, Stello, Kenyon, but I really wanted to be. The Be Inspired 1-year anniversary is August the 3rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's going to be right here at the Be Exposed radio station, 110 East Lexington Street. I think the zip code is 21201. Correct me if I'm wrong, 21201. Yes. So those two things came up. Rob is trying to talk.
Rumba Tropical Lounge.
No. Oh, thank you. Our Be Exposed Radio open house is August the 20th. 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to try to make this one bigger. We try to make everyone bigger and better than the last one. Last one was pretty good. But as we progress, as we make our name more known, we're going to try to keep pushing that open house. We're going to try to keep pushing everyone to come and see us because we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep expanding. And we want the whole Baltimore City to know about us. So, Be Exposed Radio Open House, August the 20th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., 110 East Lexington Street. And then the after party is going to be at the Rumba Tropical Lounge. It's right up the street from the station. Can't miss it.
You said it wrong, yeah.
I said it wrong. I gotta roll the R's.
You gotta say it
right. Oh my gosh, man. All right, so it's going to be...
Let me say it with you.
No, the Rumba Tropical Lounge. There we go. So, Naomi, if you're listening, I did that justice. I feel as though I did it justice. So, yeah. Also, this is pretty fun. The Be Exposed 10-year anniversary kickoff event. We're going to be at Six Flags. Open, I feel like, is it open to the public? It's open to anyone who wants to come. It's Saturday.
I don't know if you want to say that. You don't know who listening.
We might get somebody that we don't want to come.
We might get a fountain.
Hey, look. Hey. They got to pay $68 though. So it's not a free of charge type of thing. So the Be Exposed 10-year anniversary kickoff event is going to be at Six Flags Saturday, August the 27th. $68. That $68 includes the bus and the park pass. So you're gonna get the ride and to get actually into the bar.
Wait, Jabril, don't they have a new ride at Six Flags?
They do.
It's like a 3D.
It's like
3D,
a virtual reality.
Yeah.
So it's a virtual. Now, if you're a really a roller coaster rider, the Superman has gotten an upgrade. It's like a virtual reality.
It's the same track though.
It's the same ride,
but it's just
visualized even deeper now.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah. I didn't get on it the first time I went to Six Flags. Well, the last time I went to Six Flags.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, because the line was outrageous. So more with that, and in our next segment, we're actually gonna bring in our author and our first guest of the night, Cherie Trahan. Author Cherie Trahan. So stay tuned to the Be Exposed Radio broadcast only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org.
Yes,
Brought to you
Mom.
by the
I
Ad
wanted to
Council
talk
and
to you
the
about
National
something,
Highway
and
Traffic
oh wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow, busy me. So anyway.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett, the 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. I'm here to announce that the young and talented new artist Chink just dropped her new mixtape, Purple Potion, which is now available on Spinrilla and SoundCloud. If you haven't listened to it already, definitely be sure to check it out. And while you're at it, be sure to follow Chink on Instagram at Chink_OTR and to check out True to You Entertainment's website, truetoyouentertainment.weebly.com. The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for one school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. We are back on the Be Inspired Radio Show with your host, Jabril Moores, TGIW folks. And with me in the room right now, without further ado, I have author Cherie Trahan. Everybody give her a round of applause. Yay! Thank you. So, just start off with an introduction. Who are you? What do you do? How you do it?
Yeah. Well, as you said, my name is Cherie Trahan, and I'm here today as I'm founder and CEO of Purpose to Inspire.
Okay.
Yep. And it's a newly established company. And pretty much a little bit about me. I'm a Christian author, poet, inspirational speaker, as well as a creative being. You know, I light up any opportunity to be creative. So my gifts are in writing and creativity.
Okay.
And so I established Purpose to Inspire to serve as the umbrella for my books. That is my main focus at hand. So I have a book right now that's currently available for purchasing on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. So it's entitled With a Purpose to Inspire. And it's always the number 2. You know, in this day and age of texting, so it's With a Purpose to Inspire.
Okay.
And that's a collection of inspirational poetry. And I pretty much write from a personal place of self-reflection as relates to my faith and from a spiritual standpoint. And I also touch upon poems that speak to real life issues.
Okay.
So my goal is for readers to connect, as I'm a very relatable, everyday type of person. And my goal in terms of what Purpose to Inspire represents is just to provide and be a genuine source of hope and encouragement, as what inspires me is my story.
Wow.
And we can talk more about that. But if readers, at the end of the day, if I can lead them to get to know or want to get to know the God that I serve and talk about and write about, then purpose is being achieved. So I have absolutely no limits in this faith building, kingdom building business, if you will, as I want to meet people where they're at.
Right.
You know, faith is a process. It took a process for me to get here. I had to go through some things.
Right.
So for my audience, I think of those who are maybe more seasoned, you know, they're tight with God, if you will, know who they are, and can use like daily words of reflection, encouragement, biblical scriptures. And then also I think about those whose faith is being tested.
Okay.
You know, for whatever reason, I'm really drawn to this group because I can relate, you know, those who are in a place of just feeling broken, hurt,
definitely,
and pain. And they can use words of hope and encouragement to not give up. And to be honest with you, my theme is no limit. So I think of those who faith is non-existent. You know, I know people may ask, you know, how would I reach them? But while I stay my course, my response to that is you never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, somebody who doesn't believe today, you know, we could be the difference. They can hear our real life story, and at the least, Purpose to Inspire can plant seeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's God's job to change and shift hearts, but I can do my part as a vessel. So when I share my story, because I went through miracles, you know, quite an amazing, extraordinary journey. And if at the least the non-believer will either be left scratching their head or a seed could be planted.
Right.
So that's what I strive to be about. That's what I represent. That's Purpose to Inspire.
Wow. Okay. I'm feeling really great right now. Thank you so much. I really like those kind of premises because for me, you know, I grew up in church. You know, my mom always took me to church, so I've seen I've seen people and I've heard stories, and I've always felt like, the church was my home for me. But it's just something about a person that's gone through a real life situation.
Yes.
Something that you feel as though, like, if you hear that story,
That's
I could never go through that. I could
it.
never make it through that type of thing. And for me, it's always been, when I hear that type of story,
right,
and then I think about my own situation and my own circumstances, I see that I can make it through this because they made it through their storm or their struggle.
That's it.
And it's always been interesting, intriguing. And for me, I always wanted to share my story. No matter where I go, I try to have people around me that want to listen, or I want to always give out a helping hand to somebody, or just even like you said, just sharing your story to somebody.
That's the goal. Yes, because a lot of people are scared to tell their story. If they only knew, and be so surprised how many people, like you just said, going through the exact same thing. Because I constantly hear, "Why me?" It's not just you.
Right.
And so we overcome by each other's testimony, and that's where there's such power in sharing your story. And I have that type of story. It just speaks to real life issues, just to name a few, as a woman, at childbearing related issues, complications. I was medically diagnosed, would never give birth to a live baby.
Wow.
So imagine that blow.
Right.
I was young, entering into young womanhood, and but I would later, 2 years later, give birth to a 1 pound, 11 ounce miracle.
Wow.
Who fought against all odds and survived. And he turned 16 just last month.
Wow.
So when I say miracles, I mean miracles. So that's what I try to represent as an author. I am a living example. I'm not talking about what I think or what I read. This is what I've lived through. So that's the unique place that I'm in. As founder and CEO, I have real life examples to pull from, that makes me all that more believable when it comes to the importance of faith and evidence of God.
Yes.
I walk confidently with that because he's given me the story. He said, yes, I will have the final say, not the doctors. Yes, I can make a way. When I have plans, I overcame a phobia of driving. I had completely counted myself out. I failed the driving test twice, early 1920s, and said I would never drive. How did I get here today? Driving. God allowed me to conquer a phobia. When I say I was terrified, I was terrified. And I speak to people and hear people tell me that. And I'm readily able, look at me.
Yeah.
God can do it. And what he taught me was that when God has a plan, he can help you conquer all fear.
Absolutely.
So again, when I say miracles, I mean miracles.
So actually, I want to get into the phobia. What caused the phobia? Or was it an isolated event?
Not at all. And it's funny because later on down the line, I have a day-to-day relationship with God. And he decided to kind of let me in on what's happened. The principle is fear.
Right.
Something we can all relate to. But a phobia is extreme ended. When I get behind the car, breaking out in sweats, anxiety. I would go into anxiety just thinking about going to the DMV.
Ooh.
So when you say a miracle, sometimes it's kind of hard to explain. But I'll tell you this is what he told me, because driving backwards messed me up.
Oh, parallel parking.
Yes. I ain't gonna tell you how I failed the first two tests. There was a reason I counted myself, but we're not gonna talk about that right. So one day I was just about to back up and I was struggling. If I want the car to go to the right, Lord, which way do I steer? I was about to have a panic. He said, turn it to the right.
Right.
And the message there was, this car ain't going to do nothing that you don't tell it to.
Exactly.
It was a mental thing. Sometimes we don't realize how much control over situations we have.
Right.
And with the spirit he gives me is I pull spiritual downloads from messages like that.
Yeah.
So I'm writing my second book where I just tell it all. This is where I tell my story. I lay out each miracle. And just like that, I know it's going to be big.
Wow.
I know it's going to be big. So it was just a matter. If you try to explain a miracle, try to wrap my around, it was mental.
Right.
And then there was something that I can't take credit for.
Yeah.
If I can keep it real with you. God said he knew there would come seasons when I would need to be able to drive.
Yeah.
Such as being in entrepreneurship.
Right.
So
that was a hurdle that you had to get over to get to your blessing.
And it gave me a story. Now I can bless somebody else.
Wow.
That is so true.
Wow, that is wonderful. Oh my gosh. So tell me how you actually got started with writing.
Well, how I actually got started. My life never follows any logic flow. We're going to start there. As you can see, I'm always, unconventional route. So writing for me started during college. Okay. I can say that as a teen, English was my favorite class, particularly the writing, grammar side of things. But when I got to college, 18, 19, first time on my own, first time experiencing and being exposed to new things, good and bad, if I can keep it real.
Right.
I too grew up in the church, and I would say two saving graces for me was that I knew of God.
Right.
And I knew how to pray.
Okay.
Because some of my decisions and choices at that age, you wouldn't even think I had faith.
Right.
If I could keep it real, I was
right.
still trying to figure out who I was, whose I was. Very unhealthy relationship. So to say all that, I was a very quiet person. Okay. Very to myself. And only way I felt comfortable to get my feelings, thoughts, and emotions out was through writing. Okay. So writing was totally an outlet for me so that I didn't explode or implode for that matter. So it served that purpose. And I noticed I was set out to just journal my thoughts, feelings, but creative juices would take over. So my words always had to flow. If I read it back and it didn't sound right, I would erase, start over. So I would get a kick out of, I would write poetry about some of the most randomest thing. Again, remember now, I'm just trying to get my thoughts out. So it didn't have to be bad. It was good. Whatever was literally on my mind. That's how I got into writing. That's my unique little story.
Oh, okay. So what college did you attend?
North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride.
Say that with pride.
Yes. A&T, yes.
Wow. Okay.
That's actually how I started writing.
Wow. So the poetry thing, did you take that seriously? Like, did you go to slams or?
Not at all. When I say it was my outlet for survival, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Nah, that was I was always to myself. I really didn't start getting serious into it, after going through a 10-year season of just being hit with one thing after another, which is how my miracles took place. Once I came out of that season, there was a shift. There was no more randomness.
Right.
I felt there was a purpose. God gave me the gift of writing, and he gave me a story to write about.
Right.
So it was boiling in my belly. I needed to tell it for myself, healing. And then I knew I got the story that can bless many because I have a heart that just desires to help people. So that's when there was a shift. And that's when I put together this first book of inspirational. I grabbed all the poems that would fall under that genre. So that was 2010. Once I came out of that, 2011. This book was published in March 2011. When God says it's time, all I could say is be obedient, stay the course, get it done.
Yeah.
And he connected me with the right people at the right time. And for it to come out with the feedback that I've gotten, and I share just a summary within the introduction, trying to give a reader's idea why I write this season God took me through. And so that's how I, really got serious about poetry. And it's what I do.
All right.
Yes.
Well, how long have you been a writer?
Yep. So I would say it really all started during the days of college. I have everything that I've written comes from a place I noticed of personal reflection, real life experience, which I find interesting, real life miracle testimonies. So I've been writing since 18, 19 years old. And my second book will be the first book where I'm just writing, just straight and narrative, telling a story. And the gift I tap into is that it's for the everyday person. Yeah. Even my poetry, how to take everyday words so that if anybody were to pick up my book, they know what the subject is, they know how the story is unfolding, and most importantly, they get the message. Right. So I'm able to the way people describe it is get their attention. Very captivating. Paint the pictures with my words. That's the gift. And God says, since you can get their attention, now you tell them about me. Because I got the story. He told me, refer them to me. Before you refer them to that doctor you or your son had, or the attorney I had to get in that crazy season, or the realtor that I had to get to got me into my dream home as a single mother, God said, refer them to me.
Right.
You know, so that's the goal at hand.
So what or who inspired you to actually start writing?
Yep. So I would have to say it's the gift. You know, at the end of the day, you know, God,
just your gift for ministry.
Yes. And that's, you know, even I say inspirational speaker, when I get up to talk, people say I end up ministering. And actually, it's in my spirit. And actually, so you got to understand, writing for me was never a hobby. It was never a pastime. It was a survival tool in college. And now it has purpose. So it's like, this is a ministry. I really can't look at it as a pastime now.
Right, absolutely.
There's too many people who need to hear our stories, you know, like we have. It's too many people hurting. Too many people in need of hope and encouragement to not give up. I have that real life testimony. What happens when you have bold faith? When you look at your struggles and challenges as the bluffs that they are. Just trying to distract you, just trying to deter you, just trying to keep you from what God put inside of you so that your purpose can be carried out. I have the story. That's the unique position I'm in. I am a walking, living example of the importance of faith.
Wow. This is amazing.
Oh, no,
this is really amazing. I really like this type of outlet things, because some people they find their purpose through their struggle. And I really, for me, I'm still young, I'm 22, so me, I'm still trying to find my way and find out I know whose I am, because I grew up in the church. So I always have that base. I've always had that base. So I thank God for my mother. I thank God for everybody that's come into my life.
Amen.
And I thank God for my struggles, because I know that those struggles only come to make me stronger.
Yes. It's a purpose in the struggle. It's a purpose in pain. It's getting through it. And we can only do that by having that daily relationship with God.
Yeah.
So again, if I can lead people to want to get to know for themselves or better get to know, purpose is being achieved. That's the end game.
Yeah.
That's the end game.
So we're going to be right back with this. This is a powerful segment. We're going to be right back with more with Cherie Trahan right after these messages on BeExposedRadio.com.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett, the 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. I'm here to announce that the young and talented new artist Chink just dropped her new mixtape, Purple Potion, which is now available on Spinrilla and SoundCloud. If you haven't listened to it already, definitely be sure to check it out. And while you're at it, be sure to follow Chink on Instagram at Chink_OTR and to check out True to You Entertainment's website, truetoyouentertainment.weebly.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. We are back on the Be Inspired Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. Call us. Talk to me, talk to Miss Cherie at 410-702-5657. And y'all guys can text us at 443-642-9403. We were having a great discussion off air.
Yes.
And I just want to dive right back in and continue to talk about it. So another question I have for you, what would be some advice that you would give to someone who's an aspiring author?
Yep. Advice that I would have for anyone who has a dream of being an author or a writer.
Mm-hmm.
First things that come to mind to be, from a different place, what to stay clear of. First, stay clear of fear.
Okay.
Fear can be one of the biggest dream blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would say stay clear of self-doubt. Believe in yourself and believe in your dream. And as writers, sometimes we can try to start comparing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe such and such will write it this way. No, the world needs you and your uniqueness.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Say it how you would say it, how you would tell it. So stay clear from self-doubt. Mm-hmm. And lastly, stay clear from the naysayers. And I'm coming place. I'm a big dreamer. Mm-hmm. They're going to rear their heads, but just ignore, because some people may not respond in the way you think they would or should.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may not understand your dream, and then it's the naysayers that can lead to self-doubt and fear. Mm-hmm. So once we get that out the way,
right,
I would just give advice, just collectively, just respect the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take work.
Yeah.
Work it, master your craft. It's going to take time, kind of goes hand in hand. Put the effort in, the time, and networking. Networking is just the biggest tool that can connect you with the right person. So go to events where writers, publishers, editors are at, whether it's a conference or a ministry event or a workshop. And then lastly, you must have faith with any dream, and I don't care what your genre of writing is. It doesn't have to be spiritual. It could be love stories. It can be, comedy or what have you. But, pray about it at the beginning for guidance, for direction. Yeah. Pray about it in the middle so you can stay the course. Yeah. Because writer block's going to come. It's true. And you don't want to sit on that thing. Yeah. So keep praying and pray about it at the end. Give the gift giver his due credit. Say thank you. Yeah. So once you make it all about God, regardless of what you're writing about, because he put that gift in you, he can take it way beyond what you can even think right now. When you make it about him, and remember now, I speak from experience. So this is my story. So yes, but that's the advice that I would share.
Okay. So for you, I understand you write from experience. So have you ever experienced writer's block?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This second book is 2 years, maybe a little more in the making.
Oh.
Yeah, writer's block. I mean, again, when I say experience, fear, should I tell this part? Should I tell? No. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So God said 2016, you got to get it done. That's just what was in my spirit. And so if anything, just keep writing. You know, regardless if it's in the right form that I worded how I just write. And so I did that. And now it's currently a manuscript. I'm currently finishing it and tweaking it. But I lay out my 10 miracles in 10 years. I got to tell it. I got to tell it. So yeah, I've experienced writer's block and getting through it. Got to push through it. Focus on the goal at hand, because if somebody said to me, somebody's deliverance or healing, you know, they're waiting on you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know? So I can't hold it to myself. Got to get it done.
I know that you were saying that you have a son who's 16. Have you seen any of your writing skills rub off on him? Like, is he the type of person that wants to do writing as well?
Well, I can say the creative side is definitely passed down. He is a gifted artist. Now, he's actually a child with a disability.
Oh.
Very complex. Language is what the schools, categorized it as, if you will, but he learns at grade level.
Right.
The teacher, he's in, geometry, biology, but it's comprehension, language, receptive, and giving it. But if you see his drawings, a lot of people are amazed. He does comic strips. I mean, piece by piece. The stylus and the DS, 3D animated pictures. He's put together his own movies. This is a child with no experience. He has his sketchbook. He's here with me today. He carries it with him. So that creative side, he's not a writer, given, but that disability ain't blocking what God put inside of him.
There you go.
So no, that he's definitely carried my creativity.
Yeah, and I've seen him drawing, and I was like,
ain't that something?
I felt nervous because I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. But it's amazing, because for me, it's always cool to see people do something that I can't or I haven't actually tried to do.
Right.
So for me, artists of any form, poetry, writing, drawing, is always so magnificent, and it's beautiful because you guys get everything that's in your mind on paper.
Right.
And it's so wonderful to me because it's really cool. Like, and for you, you're telling your story. So that takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of, security in yourself.
That's true.
Because you know that this is my story. I'm going to tell it how it was, and it's going to be the way it's going to be.
Yeah, because the bigger purpose is what's most important.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm willing, I was reading the word this week, Nehemiah, the sacrifice is worth being a part of God's story. I'll take that. For all the things he did for me, yes, I will give you a child. After the doctor said that I would never have a child. Yes, I will make a way. At 3, he succumbed to this physically disabling illness. Children's hospital doctors scratching their head. So they never really did figure it out for sure on paper, on record. So they can't get the credit for the miracle healing that took place. Nah. I got a story to tell. Yeah.
This is really wonderful. I'm sorry, we have to go to another break. Oh my gosh. So we're going to be back with more of the Be Inspired Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com.
The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for 1 school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org. Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
This forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We are back with the Be Inspired radio show only on BeExposedRadio.com. Call in guests. Come on, guys. Come on. Call in. Call in. You know this is a great conversation. 410-702-5657. That's the call-in number. Or you can text us 443-642-9403. Miss Cherie Trahan, this conversation is wonderful. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, same here.
So, next question for you. What is your life goal for yourself as an author?
My life goal is definitely, I use the theme no limits.
Mhm.
Again, I mentioned audience, just trying to reach the masses. And with the story that I have, I'm thinking worldwide. You
Okay.
know, I can see my books in different formats so that nobody's left out. I see my books published in foreign languages. You know, I don't
okay.
want to leave anyone out. I see it printed in Braille,
Mhm.
you know, in the different formats that are out there now, ebooks,
Mhm.
videos. I see film.
Wow.
You know, I have that kind of story.
Mhm.
So I'll
Absolutely.
be pursuing that as well. So at the end of the day, too, just thinking I'm at that age. I'm just turned 40 last year.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. So thinking about my legacy.
Mhm.
You know, it's like I want my grandchildren to know this life that I've lived.
Yeah.
I want them to know that their bloodline comes from faith, you know,
Mhm.
favor,
Mhm.
miracles, you know, and that they can get through anything. They are success and victory.
Mhm.
So with that, and the cool thing about books, it will live lifelong,
Mhm.
even way beyond me. So I have children's books ideas, and so I'm setting up my business plan now, but all in all, that's the long-term goal, is to
Mhm.
keep at it, to keep being a source of hope, encouragement, inspiration for generations to come, for that matter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see a book in front of you. Can you tell me about that book?
Yep, this is my first baby, my first book, with a purpose to inspire.
Okay.
The collection of inspirational poetry.
Mhm.
So this is the one that's available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com right now. So
Okay.
I mean, I have my favorite piece in here. You know, if I could share it.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this one is called "In Trying Times, Choose Hope."
Okay.
You know, we talked about how, you know, people are going through different things, you know, issues worldwide, issues nationally in the news, and then we got our own personal issues. So my thing is, in trying times, choose hope.
Yeah.
As hope is the building block to faith. Hope takes you, I believe things are going to get better.
Mhm.
Faith is, I know
No things are
things
good.
will get better. So this is
Mhm.
about having that bold faith.
Mhm.
So in trying times, choose hope. While living in trying times, when the known seems to be coming and going like the wind, I pray that you choose to have hope and display your ability to make life struggles and challenges transparent. As you boldly envision yourself already on the other side of this difficult season, you will be able to unveil life's obstacles and challenges for the bluffs that they are, just trying to distract and deter you. And even in the midst of the unknowns, you can lean on those around you and rely on what you do have and use what you do know to take the necessary paths that will help you inch your way closer and closer. And before you even realize, all of your trying times will become flying times as you soar to better days. And you will live under a rainbow of blessings, all because you endured and made it through. And when you sit back and reflect, a soft voice will reveal in a whisper. Because you chose to have hope in the face of all your struggles, that which you desired and more was set into place the moment you believed, and has been here on the other side waiting just for you. And as I've tied scripture with each of my poems, it says in Hebrews 6:19, we have this hope for the soul as an anchor, firm and secure.
Wow. Yes. That, ooh. What's the name of that again? What's the name of that again?
In trying times, choose hope.
In trying times, choose hope. Wow.
Yes.
I love that because it's really inspirational. It comes from a place of, you actually had to dig down deep in yourself to find that and to know that. And then the only way that you can know that is by actually going through it. I really enjoyed that. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so how can someone get in touch with you if they want to for more information, if they want to book you or anything like that?
Yep, the best way to get in touch with me is via email. And my email address is purpose2inspire@gmail.com. And I would even say a best central location is my new website I'm so excited about because I designed that. That gave me a chance to show off my creativity. But there's a contact tab there where it lists all my contact information, including the email I just listed. But via the website, you can actually fill out the form, which will set up your email for you. Again, for those that might want to take it down, it's purpose2inspire@gmail.com. If there's an event, a booking request, or any questions you have about me, email would be the best way to reach me.
So what's your website?
My website is purpose2inspire.com. And I encourage all, please check it out. I was excited when Miss B Inspired showed me that she, went to it and enjoyed what she saw. Because, and you can learn more about my company, Purpose to Inspire. There's links to purchasing my book. And then I have a gallery of creativity. I love taking photos, do photo shoots.
Wow.
I like to look like where I'm trying to go. and it shows. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I don't even want humbly people to say I want to be like Cherie. I would rather them say I want to know Cherie's God.
Yeah.
That's what it's a reflection of. I give credit to the gift giver. But yes, check my website out, please. Purpose2inspire.com. And there's even a link. I have a Facebook page as well. Inspirational Facebook page. That just started from a little vision. I just wanted to be anonymous and just post daily inspirational pictures, quotes, scriptures, what have you. And so I'm at 250 likes now. It take only a second.
Wow.
And you can go to the website. It's right there on the home page. Just click like. And it's just something that via social media you can share and like with your friends.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm pushing that as well.
Okay. So is there any new material? I know you were talking about your second book coming out. Is there anything else that's coming out?
Swag is the focus, again, even how it's going to be laid out. I'm just dreaming big. I see pictures. I just want something unique because this is the book that I know is going to touch many lives worldwide.
Swag is the focus.
Swag. That's a term that is where that came from. That has followed me in terms of my style and the social scene. And I am a certified Zumba instructor. So when I'm up in the front, they say I come with a lot of swag. So creatively, it stands for spiritual walk appointed by God. So spiritual walk is just another way of saying a journey of faith that I had to go on when each adversity was coming at me. You got to understand that these were things that were threatening, in some instances, life, threatening my finances, threatening my overall mental and emotional state. As I went through all of that as a single woman, as a single parent. So God is the only one that can get the credit. Type thing. So spiritual walk appointed by God. I came out of that season feeling like I did that for an assignment. So that's what SWAG stands for. Now, this is the focus, and I'm so excited about it.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm excited for you because
thank you.
it's just hearing these type of stories and seeing the success from them and the perseverance. It just makes me want to continue on in my life, you know, knowing that, you know, like you said, we all go through things and we're all going to have to learn how to get through them. It's the how you went through it and showing yourself on the other end that shows how strong you really are.
That's it. And to not even look like what I've been through. A lot of people look at me. I mean, there are days I still go through. They say, Cherie, you're glowing. At work, I got 2 times in one day. I ran to the bathroom. God, what do they say? If they knew the pain that, that I have to fight through.
Right.
But the word says that God is made strongest when you're at your lowest.
Wow.
It shines through.
Wow.
So again, when I say I'm a living example, and I don't take it lightly. I am a humble soul, just trying to do his work. For all that he's done for me. I feel like I owe him, even though he's just a loving God, just wants to love on it. That's where I'm at.
Wow. Well, I really thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing your experiences, just giving your testimony, really. And it's really inspiring to me. And I know if Naomi is listening, Naomi is really proud of me right now because this interview right here was great. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Well.
So one more time, tell us about how we can contact you.
Yep. Via email, purpose2inspire@gmail.com.
All right. So right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you see 2 other young ladies on my left and my right, and you're probably like, wow, who are they? But they are the 2 young ladies from our youth philanthropy group known as Youth as Resources. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and give a little spiel about what they do at the philanthropy group. So I'm going to start with the young lady on my left. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Deja Allen, and I'm the vice chair at Youth as Resources.
Okay. How long have you been a member of Youth as Resources?
About just a little over a year.
Okay. And the young lady on my right?
My name is Mayera Cushion Craig. I am currently the chair of Youth as Resources, and I've been on the board for around 3-4 years.
Okay. So, what is Youth as Resources?
Youth as Resources is a youth-led nonprofit organization. We give grants to youth from $500 to $3,500 for kids ranging from any youth age up to 24 who want to impact the community.
Okay. So you were saying that you guys give grants to somebody that addresses a community problem. So in your guys' opinion, or what you've seen so far, what categorizes as a community issue or community problem?
I would say a community problem is something that I guess hold weight on a community and basically keeps them from thriving.
Okay. So any more all right, so for me, say I'm a person that wants to come and get a grant, and how would I actually go about trying to get a grant or applying for a grant?
So we have 2 grand cycles, one in the spring and one in the fall. We have 2 workshop days. So you'll basically come in, have a little fun at the beginning, eat some food. And then after that, we get to explaining our guidelines. And even before that, we do a community conversation. So analyzing the problems in the community, because not all the time the people that come to us already have an idea. They might want to build one with people that they know at the workshop. And so you sit through the community conversation, we explain all the guidelines to you, and then basically give them our information for technical assistance, helping them with actually writing the grant. And then after that, they send in our proposal. Then they do an interview for their organization. And then after that, we come to the board. And they decide whether you get the grant or whether you don't.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking at the timer now, and we have to, unfortunately, we got to go to a break. So I'm going to continue this interview with Youth Resources, and also we still have Cherie Trahan in the studio with us. So we're going to be back with more of the Be Inspired radio broadcast only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called Baltimore Heat. There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea. I'm always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about these firefighters, but also we want them to fall in love with the city of Baltimore. Just like they did with Miami Vice and Chicago Fire and NYPD Blue and
Sex in the City,
and all these other places that have the city as a star as much as the artists and the actors are.
And that's Baltimore has for many years have been the backdrops of many movies. I could think of a few Whoopi Goldberg movies, Sleepless in Seattle. A lot of these movies that have always used Baltimore as a scene, not to mention The Wire and the Homicide and countless other movies, House of Cards, all these movies and television shows that have always used it, but it was never really about Baltimore. They always included Baltimore in the story or the backdrops or certain historical scenery,
things they absolutely needed to say.
But House of Cards actually shoots in Baltimore. But they're saying that it's Washington, D.C. So they're shooting here and not even giving us credit for the place we're here.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on Be Exposed Radio.
So just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician. This is Peter. Recently, you got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really? He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I keep forgetting we're on YouTube. So I came in and we were dancing.
Oh,
well, I was dancing, not we.
It's a lot worse things people can say.
We are back on the Be Inspired Radio Show with your host, Jabril Moores. If you're watching on YouTube, you see my room is pretty full. And this is great. This is great because I'm new at this. But to just jump back into the whole conversation that I was having with Youth as Resources, I'm actually looking at one of you guys' flyer, and it's pretty good. So it says it's a section of how is y'all run. So can you guys elaborate a little bit more on that for me?
So y'all is run by 22 youth and 3 adults. We have about four committees. We have a project support and follow-up committee. We have executive, which is all the board chairs and officials.
Wait, before you continue, what is project support and follow-up? What is that job?
Project support and follow-up. So once our grantees get their grants, we go out to them and evaluate them, making sure everything is okay after we already gave them the money. Then we go to outreach and task force. They are our marketing, basically. They're somewhat the face of the Youth as Resources. They're always out in the field and they're really hands-on. And then we have grant making, who evaluates our grants, our philanthropy forms, when we have other philanthropists from other organizations come in and talk about ways that we can improve ourselves.
Okay, so you guys been doing this for a pretty long time, sounds like. So what's one of the pet peeves that you see what's one of the pet peeves that you've seen from people that are seeking grants from you guys?
Pet peeves. I think that's hard. One of the pet peeves would have to be the want, I guess. Like, I feel like sometimes our grantees are somewhat pushed by adults sometimes.
Okay.
So that they don't necessarily think for themselves, but like it's always, not always, but sometimes it's like an adult being a puppet and like guiding them not always where they want to be.
Okay. So why is that such an important thing that it has to be youth-led? Why is that such an important thing?
Because youth don't get enough say-so now. So when we have grants, when we're providing the space for youth to do things for the community, they don't. We want them to use this space and have their voice and control what happens in the community, because not all the time adults are correct, but they're always in power.
All right. Okay. So what kind of grants, what kind of projects have you guys recently funded?
So recently, or like period?
Like recently, like since the last time you guys had a grant cycle?
So we have one called the Youth Resiliency Project. So they want to sort of bring in this divide between police and the youth. So they're holding workshops where police officers come into communities and different communities and sit down and basically on a panel in front of everybody and basically answering and asking questions to the community.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more. So what are you guys' like website? Like if I want to find out more information, where can I go, like reach you guys?
You can go to youthisresources.com. We have Instagram, which is official youth is official YAR.
Mhm.
Our Facebook is Youth as Space Resources, and then our Twitter is YAR_grants.
Okay, so this is a question for each of you, and I'm going to start with Miss Deja. What's the most rewarding part of what you do?
I would say the most rewarding part of what I do is basically that I feel like I'm in control. Like a lot of times when I joined programs and groups, it was like I was a part, but I wasn't really in control.
Okay.
So I feel like that's the biggest thing with YAR. We put like the emphasis on youth and having the youth in control, having the youth make decisions. And I feel like that's a big thing to me. Like now I'm just like on top.
So, Mayera?
Mine's would have to be the family that we built. Definitely everybody at YAR loves everybody. And so I think when I first came there, I was actually really shy, and then I didn't know how to be around big groups of people or around like guiding discussions. And now my family has motivated me to do what I do now.
Okay. Well, I'm really appreciative for you two young ladies coming on my show. Well, and Naomi's show. I'm about to take it over. And talking about your youth philanthropy group. So we're going to be right back with more of the Be Inspired radio show. And our next voice that you're going to be hearing from is Dr. D with our Breaking Barriers segment. And we're going to be right back with more Be Inspired radio on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. Our topic tonight is Spirit of Thanksgiving. And I have in the studio with me my husband, Titus James. Woo!
Hello.
Titus James.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett, the 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. I'm here to announce that the young and talented new artist Chink just dropped her new mixtape, Purple Potion, which is now available on Spinrilla and SoundCloud. If you haven't listened to it already, definitely be sure to check it out. And while you're at it, be sure to follow Chink on Instagram at Chink_OTR, and to check out True to You Entertainment's website, truetoyouentertainment.weebly.com.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Football, you basically have a good 10 to 12 years, and that's what it is.
Well, you have a lot of people retiring early. It's funny. A lot of me and my alumni from UVA, where I graduated from, one of our fellow Wahoos, he retired yesterday, 32 years old. To Shaw Ferguson, and he's been in the league like 10 or 12 years. So like you said, a lot of guys are making that change on their own now because they're seeing a lot of things from the concussion movement,
right?
Stuff that's been happening. Is not the noun, it's the effects later, because you see different stories of men are in like their 50s and some are committed suicide because of the banging and the voices or the concussions. And
did you see that?
I haven't got a chance to see it. But
not the movie, but did you see those effects?
I have seen concussions in college where guys have played that whole entire game and didn't realize they was at a football game.
Wow.
But like before the big emphasis came about whole concussions and what's going on, we was taught you just run to the wall. You can't be soft. You shake it off and get back in it. So
the wrong attitudes I had.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really internal. Like you really doing damage, not just to your bones,
right,
but to your mind.
Everything.
Right.
And later on down the line, because just like you said, once the game is over, when you've been in a game and you think about it, because I tell people the NFL, any sports, whether it's male or female, is a semi-military because
yes,
you're told when to get up, when to work out, what to eat, when to play. All right, now you got a curfew. You got to be in the bed by this time. You do it for years and years, and all of a sudden, bam, it's done. So what do you do?
Right.
So just like in a military to have with PTSD. We have that because we so used to having a certain way. And I remember watching this Brian Gumbel on HBO, was like years ago, and a guy would act like he was getting dressed, a real good football player, would walk his daughter to the bus stop, and he would come back in the house, close the curtains, and just sit there because he didn't know how else to handle himself. Because he was so used to being told what to do because our schedule are laid out. By this time, you got to do this. By this time, you got to do this. Eat at this time, back on the field. So,
hey, what's up? This is Nate, host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live, here live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know you're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step. You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid,
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. I was gonna try to come in with a freestyle, but I know this is not the appropriate time nor the place to do that. So this is the Be Inspired Radio Show. I am your host, Jabril Morris, and we are back. I just wanted to give you guys a call-in number and text-in number. The call-in number is 410-702-5657. You guys can also text at 443-642-9403. This is our time where we have our Breaking Barriers segment with Dr. D. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Dr. D.
All right. And thank you for passing it to me. He has done such a tremendous job. I wish we could get the applause. There you go. Get that applause going, Brother Jabril. You've done a fabulous job. I know Miss Be Inspired is going to be so very proud of you.
I know.
And this lovely panel of guests has been wonderful. I've invited them to be a part of this segment, Breaking Barriers. And just to give you an update, Breaking Barriers deals with those things that we need to overcome in order to go to the next level. Because as long as there's life, there's hope. And as long as there's hope, there must be growth. We are obligated to grow. If you don't grow, you might as well die. And even in the midst of the traumas and dramas that we've talked about over this entire month, really dealing with healing of hurts, we need to understand we're still challenged to serve God's purposes in our generation. We are still challenged to grow or give up. I mean, whichever one it is, it's just up to you. But when talking about this particular session, knowing the guests that we were going to have today in the part that Jabril shared earlier today, as well as now, that we're really dealing with dreams, dreams of some sort, and dreams that come out of despair. So I've tried to entitle this from despair to dreams, and from dreams to destiny. From despair to dreams, and from dream to destiny, because all of what you all have been talking about is giving us, in some ways, answers to how we come out of our pit of despair. The last week, We talked to moms of murdered sons and daughters.
Mm.
The week before last and the week before that, we dealt with murdered sons and daughters. We dealt with the issue of police brutality. And then we also dealt with police being killed and it looking like a war zone. This week we deal with the, last week was the Republican National Convention, which people feel different ways about. And some people are extremely concerned. I will withhold my opinion, but we're completely concerned because we're concerned that whatever progress we've made in a democratic system, are we going to be set back or are we going to be able to move forward? And that's on the minds of people, young as well as middle-aged, as well as old. And then this week, the Democratic National Convention, and there's still a lot of unrest. You have those who have been ardent followers of Bernie Sanders and who believed in him. A lot of young people he's galvanized. And they feel cheated. They feel like, wow, we found out about this whole email leak that came out of WikiLeaks that said that they went into the convention with a bias. This just proves that they never wanted him in the first place. And so we feel cheated. And you had thousands that walked out of the DNC and said, we're not going to vote anyway. If it's the fact that, Trump wins, then he wins. And so it's the bailout idea that I'm quitting. And so again, all expressing despair, all expressing a sense that there's no hope. And so the question becomes, how do you get a dream out of all of that? And I guess I want you, again, Ms. Trahan, right?
Yes.
To share a little bit. Give me about a minute's worth. I don't know if you could do it. I know you can. Okay. A minute's worth of how do you come from despair to a dream?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think in a place of despair, you got to look at what's at stake.
Okay.
For me as a single mother, my son has always been the driver for me. When you think about what's going on in the world politically, his future, what would this mean, this next election mean for his future? And when you think about the police brutality, I have a young African-American male, and I'm not at a place where I can speak to it because I come from a place of a mother and I get too emotional. I have a young Black son who has a disability. I think of the police giving him commands and not knowing, I heard about the autistic boy related event not too long ago. So it's just in a place of despair. You just got to figure out prayer is the best. Sometimes when I don't have answers, all I can do is pray. Yes. I see a lot of chaos, just what you described has been going on over the weeks, over the months. I'm just so glad God is still on the throne because that's the one constant that's still in place. And all I can do is just pray that he works it out, and if he, you just got to stay in touch with the Creator.
So the Creator is not wringing his hands saying, oh, I'm so surprised. What are we going to do? Pretty much you saying he's on the throne says there's still somebody in charge who's
still hope.
There you go. He's got our back. And then somehow this keeps us going. You also talked about what's at stake. And I guess I also want to hear from the rest of as a forum, what is at stake at this point? Because again, what you're saying is, I don't give up because giving up will cost more than it would be to pursue the dream in spite of what I see. Talk to us.
So the question of what is at stake? What is at stake is the youth and our country, everything that we've built, and just this idea of dreams and knowing that if you can dream something can happen. And gosh.
You're doing well.
So like if you can dream something can happen. And like we constantly been held back, but knowing that if you can dream, if you come up with a plan, then if you collect people, then you can go and do it. Like it's nothing honestly holding anybody back from doing what you want to do.
Wow, that's an awesome affirmation. And I think that that's important for us to be able to know. Jabril, you wanted to say something here.
For me, I believe things that are at stake is just the idea of being, I guess, safe in America. So, with the police shooting, and we see so much in the media is with the police. That's just pertaining to the police. It makes us scared, and it gives us a sense of fear. And then that causes us to have post-traumatic stress disorder, and then that cause us to act out in a way that's not ideal. So for me, I'm a connector of things. Like, I connect dots a lot. So it's like, if we keep seeing the story of the guy getting shot, then we go into defense mode, then we go into attack mode. You know, so it's our sense of security is at stake for me. And then Donald Trump, his ideas are less than desirable. So with his ideas coming into play, it won't give us a sense of security anymore. It'll give us a sense of reverting back to the 1900s, or even further back than that, because his ideals are, we got to build a wall and segregation and illegal alien. His ideas are less than American in my eyes, because in America, everybody's supposed to be equal. Every man is supposed to be created equal. Everybody in America has that same opportunity for the American dream. But when I see Donald Trump, or when I hear him speak, I don't feel that anymore.
So let's say for the person, and I'm putting this out because we have young people here who represent individuals who were specifically behind well, okay, where do we get his name? I'm having a moment here. Okay, Bernie Sanders. And that Bernie Sanders basically is pushing a political revolution. He wants to fix the broken system. It has appealed to our youth. They've gotten gung-ho and behind him. And then now he concedes and says that Hillary is going to be the presidential nominee. History has been made, but people still feel some mixed feelings about it. So the question is whether to vote or not to vote. I mean, when we talk about things at stake, you talk about what could happen, and yet with some of our young people, they don't like they don't like either one of the options.
Yeah.
So what's the conclusion? Do you not vote? Do we just, given what's at stake? Talk to me.
I feel like we need to vote. First of all, we have to vote. Everybody has to vote, because your vote matters. Your vote counts, and it can change it can change our lives, potentially. Not the next 8 years, 4 years, your life. Because, whoever gets into presidency, their law can change your grandson's life, your great-grandson's life. So for me, I feel like we need to make our voice heard, because if we don't speak up now, we'll speak up too late when things have already gotten in place. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And you mentioned something about life before the 1960s. We talked about 1900s and 1800s. With respect to votes and the African American community, what was different prior to the 1960s, when the civil rights movement, when the came into law, the voting, the enforcement of the voting right came into law, and after? What was the difference as far as voting rights? Somebody please tell me. It's not a hard one.
We didn't have the right. To vote. It was non-existent.
So a dream came true. A dream came true. Whose dream was it that we would have a legal right to vote and to be accepted in society as having some say? And even for women, I'm going to say that for women too, because women were the property of men. Whose dream was that I mean, we weren't born. Well,
Right.
I was born a little bit during that time. But we were not we were not of age at that time. So whose dream was it? Couldn't have been our dream. Whose dream was that we would have the ability to vote and that our vote would count?
It was our forefathers' dream, those who came before us. They really fought for that right, and it affects us, their next generations and their generation, because of them, because of the blood they shed.
Absolutely.
We have the right.
Did they live to see that dream?
No, and that shouldn't be. The bigger picture is what always has to be at hand.
See, this is
you're making a difference.
Yes.
That's why, piggybacking on him, why we should vote.
Yes.
You don't just give up that hope.
Right.
That's what your non-vote would mean to me.
Yeah.
The outcome may not be what we'd like, but at least it could be a step forward to the dream.
And dreams have to do with believing something when you don't see it, which is what you were talking about.
Yes.
And that's a very important piece, because this whole issue of I got involved and I was ready and I'm gung-ho, but it didn't happen today, so I quit. What is wrong with that as it relates to dreams? And in that situation, am I following, I guess I want to say, the rules that come with how to get a dream to come true if after I don't see it immediately or within my lifetime, I decide to quit? Am I really being a true dreamer?
Wow.
A true dreamer wouldn't give up. Like a true dreamer would fight. They would die for whatever that causes. Like if you have a dream or something and you want it to happen, you're not gonna give up on it, because there's, even if you fail the first 2 times, you could possibly give up and nothing but happen. But if you try that 3rd time, magic can happen. Things can happen that you wouldn't even be able to think of or comprise in your brain, but it can happen, and you just simply giving it up or not going at it at all it's just not worth it at the end, rather than doing something and failing but going at it again and again, rather than giving up and not knowing what could have been.
Excellent. And you're going to have to share that with this generation. There are a lot of discouraged people out there. I'm going to add another fuel to the fire, and please keep me aware of when the break is. But today it was declared, it was determined that all of the police officers that were involved in the killing of Freddie Gray were found to be innocent. They were exonerated. So here you had these charges against them, but every single one of them, some people feel a certain kind of way, especially, and I have to say that when I saw that it was proposed that he killed himself, something went through me. Something went through me. It was like, gosh, is this really just? And so I think are we ready for a break?
No, not yet.
Okay,
not
I
yet.
thought I heard something. I'm sorry. But just to say that gets to you in your gut.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
it hurts. It's painful. And I'm not saying everybody has to agree, but all of us have a thing about justice, have a thing about people getting their due, and whether it's for the right and for the wrong. And when that doesn't happen, or it feels like that doesn't happen, yes, there is a sense that I want to give up, and so forth. But what I'm hearing from this group is, and what we're going to have to get out to the masses, this is so critical between now and November, is you can't give up on the dream.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
and the dream doesn't have to do with just your creature comforts. Right. You said what is at stake, Mom, is your son, is the children that come after us. We're getting ready to pause for a break. Those who are on Facebook Live, we welcome you. We will address you in just a few minutes. But this is the Be Inspired radio show on BeExposed.com. We will be right back.
Check out this flashback on Gangsta Goddess Radio Show.
We know how you came about. We have write-ups and so forth. And the people that come after that, okay, yes, I inspired you, so acknowledge it.
Right.
When you do a, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say it's a little more difficult for the natural born raw artists. Okay. And the academic artists, they know a lot more than us natural born raw artists. So they could easily get in spots and galleries and newspapers and magazines and everything, where I'm not in the academic part of the artist scene. I'm just a natural born chick doing my thing. And when the academic ones are able to form groups to identical to the group that I have, and I see them getting all these opportunities, I'm bothered. I'm really bothered. So we are not the Balti girls. BALTIGURLS. That's not me. Look for Baltimore Girls by Safiatu. That's what you want to look for blazing through the city in these next spring and summer 2016. The Baltimore Girls. Straight like that.
For this and more, be sure to tune in to Gangsta Goddess Radio Show every Tuesday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for one school year. Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Be Inspired Radio Show. I'm Dr. D on the Breaking Barriers segment. And we've been sharing with our Facebook Live group. We've got a wonderful group of people that are on, and we're asking that you all feel free to call live at 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. Or text us at 443-642-9403. That's 443-642-9403. I wanted to give some comments that sort of summarize what's come out of our month-long discussion about healing from hurts, and not to diminish the pain and the emotions, the range of emotions. Mom, you said here that you cannot even imagine what it would feel like to have your son become the victim of shootings. And I know many of you, if it were your brother or your sister, you couldn't imagine, or your father could not imagine what that feels like. But the reality is this is not new to our existence. That dreams entail opposition. They entail adversity. They entail an ability to see and go after something that looks absolutely impossible. And if there's not another group of people who know that seeing the impossible can make it happen, we ought to know that. We actually have an African American in the presidency for two terms. That looked absolutely impossible, but guess what? It happened because he said God is still on the throne. That's it. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
I want to just give these four insights that I just want you to have in mind. Number one, we've got to continually draw upon the lessons learned and the victories gained from the past. Knowing this is not new, individuals persevered through persecution. It is controlled action that leads to lasting change. Controlled action. Violence begets violence. You live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. And the reality is, if we just keep on fighting, just more people are going to be killed. How we got to where we are now is somebody decided they would challenge aggressively unjust laws in a just way. It's called nonviolent passive resistance. And one character in an individual in our history who embodied it, we say Martin Luther King, but I think Jesus Christ even trumped him because he was perfect and yet he endured all of that, and he did not return evil with evil. So I think it's important for us to understand that's called controlled action. Let me say it another way. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness is power under control. You use it to direct it toward the solution, which means you've got to keep a focus. You've got to keep a focus. The third thing is that the struggle ain't over. Some people have tended to believe now that we have our vote, now that we have our cars, our homes, we've got people in high offices, everything is okay, hunky-dory, let's just forget everything, even the bridge that brought us over. But we have to understand the struggle ain't over. And I say ain't intentionally. Remember that in the Judeo-Christian scripture, it says David served God's purposes in his generation. So in every generation, what we're really asking is, well, what is my purpose? What role where is the struggle now?
Right.
And what role do I play in the struggle? Not is the struggle over? No, it's not over. It never will be over. As long as you have humanity, you're in imperfections, you're going to have a struggle. So the question is, where do I come in serving the purpose in my generation? And lastly, peace that leads to healing is not achieved through suppression of conflict or ignoring of offenses. That means we can't roll this under the rug. We can't say, okay, I'm going to erase this, turn the channel. We can't instantly put it in the microwave and it's okay. We may have to roll up our sleeves and pray, roll up our sleeves and seek for wisdom, and actually sit down and talk to each other. And hear what we have to say. I'm going to get you all's reaction. I just wanted to get that in there. All right, Ms. Trahan, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to turn this around to you. Do we see her? You can. Can you see her?
No, it's faced this way.
It is faced that way. Okay. I really need to get to see her. Okay, I got to do it this way. Okay, wait a minute, just a second. I'm determined that y'all gonna see this beautiful woman who has a wonderful book. Please show them the book.
Oh, yes. With a purpose to inspire, faith-based inspirational poetry, available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Thank you so much for that.
Yes. Please share your response and where we should go from here.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely, for starters, definitely never give up on hope. Know that you do have a role. You do matter. You do count. And you can make a difference no matter how big or how small. The idea, like you said, is just to never stop going. We may not know the full pathway, but one step at a time, would at least get us closer and closer. So you can't just stop and give up, just like you said, exactly like you said.
You got to keep it moving.
Yes.
You've got to keep it moving.
Yes.
Make sure that doesn't fall off. And I'm just being the camera person and all things to all people. Are we running out of time here?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We got 2 minutes.
All right, then. I'm going to give you 10 things, and we're going to have this up on the website. I just sent it to Jabril so he can put it on our website.
Okay.
Some steps to making your dreams come true. And some of these intersect with what Ms. Trahan has talked about. And that is, you need to know what your dream is. Now, you may not be able to know all of it. Dreams unfold. Start with your passion and start writing it down. Secondly, decide and believe. Decide this dream is my dream and it will come true. You got to believe it in order to achieve it. Release fear. I think you talked about that. Releasing your fears. Fear gets in the way of so many things. There's a saying that says fear is false evidence appearing real. There are forces that would try to bamboozle you to believe I can't do it. I like how Ms. Trahan said, I am an entrepreneur. I'm going to the next level. That's why I do things the way I do. So believing means it's going to affect your action, just like the grant proposals that you've talked about, that our young people have talked about. Take action. Action doesn't have to be large steps, just one small step. If you're a writer, buy a pen and a journal and start writing. Go to a seminar, listen to some kind of tape. There are all kinds of YouTubes, okay? YouTube University. Oh, yes, they are. I've been blessed with that every once in a while. Love yourself. Okay, use others' success as inspiration. View mistakes as lessons, not excuses to give up. Value tiny decisions. Don't let bad habits win, like laziness and procrastination, and believe that God is for you and friendly. We are at the end of our program. I think this has been wonderful, and we just thank you so much for being on the Be Inspired Radio Show in the Breaking Barriers segment. We will see you next week. God bless you.